Hello my quilting friends! My name is Leah Day and welcome back to Quilted and Bound. This is a fun video and article series put together with Quiltmaker Magazine and the Grace Company. In this video, we're going to learn 3 fun free motion quilting designs. Now these designs are governed by a simple set of rules, much like signing your name in cursive. Once you memorize the rules, you can stitch these designs on any style of quilt, on any style of machine, and any setup, whether you have a home machine and a table or a long arm and a frame. So let's get started learning how to quilt these 3 beautiful designs together. So the first design that we're learning together is called loopy hearts, and the simple rules for this design is to stitch a wiggly loopy line and then occasionally form a heart shape. Now this is so simple and so easy to stitch that you may find yourself going really fast, but it actually does take some thought and some planning. What you don't want to do is do this, where you end up with the heart shape forming and then you really don't have a place to go. So in this particular situation, I'm just going to change direction and I loop off over this way, but that's not my favorite way to do it. Really, I want to lead into the heart, going to the outside of the space that I have to work in, and then swing inward to fill in that space with that whole heart shape. So let me swirl over here with some loops, and then we'll do that again. It requires a little bit more thought than you might think. So here I'm swinging outward for my heart shape, forming that double shape, and then swirling inward in order to fill in that space completely. Now, is that heart shape absolutely perfect? No, it was a little bit on the wiggly wobbly side, and that's a-okay. So if heart shapes are not really your thing, just remember that you can just stitch your nice wiggly line, your loopy line. That's a wonderful design for beginners to stitch. Now, speaking of beginner designs, this is a perfect design if you are just starting out. It's called wobbly spiral. So I'm wiggling my way inward, and this is just a wiggly line going to the inside. You want to make sure to leave yourself space to get back out again. So whenever I'm working my way in with the spiral, I'm thinking, let's leave double that amount of space so I have space to stitch back out. And it's okay if you forget that occasionally and end up with a little narrower area. No big deal. The wonderful thing about wobbly spiral is it's wonderfully forgiving. So let's wobble over here. I'm going to swirl around and I'm just kind of echoing my piecing lines, and then now I'm going to work inside. Again, I want to make sure to leave myself double the amount of space, and things got a little tight there, but that's okay. Now I'm going to wobble around and fill in this whole area with a nice wiggle spiral. So this time I want to leave plenty of space, so you can see I barely spiral in. I just kind of hook it around, and that's just fine. This is a great background design. This is a great design to fill in big spaces really quickly, because as you can see, you can just swirl around and knock out huge amounts of space with a single wiggly spiral shape. So here I'm filling in, and now I'm going to spiral inside. I'm leaving that doubled space, and then once I feel like I've gone in far enough, kind of swing around, and then I just focus on bringing the needle right through the middle of that area while still stitching wiggly wobbly line. Very easy. So now I'm swinging out with a design called heart paisley. I'm going to form a heart shape, just bounce back to the beginning, and now we're going to echo around it. So this is slow and steady wins the race, but it is really easy to swing out and get kind of out of control. So just take your time here. You're forming that heart shape, then you're pivoting and swinging around for your echo. Now I got to do a little bit of travel stitching here. I'm going to put a little straight line, little curved line right there, fill in that little extra space, and carefully travel stitch around that other shape to form my next one. So this design is a little bit different in style. It is a clustering style design, and that requires travel stitching. So you may need to slow down and get a little bit more control over your machine or over your quilt. If you're stitching on a home machine and a table, then try wearing quilting gloves. If you are on a frame like me and stitching, moving the machine on wheels, you might want to make a frame weight. So this is just a tube stitched and filled with rice. It's adding extra weight here to my quilt, the machine bed underneath it, and that is giving me that little extra control so I can form these shapes and travel stitch beautifully. So more practice obviously, but a little bit more control can definitely help with the design like heart paisley. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed learning how to quilt loopy hearts, wobbly spiral, and heart paisley with me. These are 3 beautiful designs that will work in any style of quilt. Now, if you'd like to read more about them, definitely check out the Quiltmaker magazine article that is going to correspond with this video. You can find it in the May-June 2023 issue. Until next time, let's go quilt.